Okay, I want to do something very simple here. I want to answer 3 questions about Noah because I see people are getting this wrong and it's been going around for decades. So the first question is, when Noah went into the ark, before he went in, from the time he started building it, was he preaching to everyone else like, hey, there's going to be a flood, I'm building an ark, come on, come get in? Was he doing that? Okay, that's the first question. The next question is, did Noah have perfect DNA? There's a third question. It's escaping the top of my head right now, but we're going to get to it. So now, I'm just going to start reading from the birth of Noah to the time that Noah goes into the ark. Okay, it's just 2 chapters. Lamech, at Genesis 5:30 here, Lamech lived after he begat Noah 595 years and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Lamech were 777 years old, and he died. 777, that's pretty cool. And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. So he had 3 sons. This, by the way, if you've never seen Blue Letter Bible, it's a fantastic website. Everyone should use it. Genesis 6:1. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and took them wives of all which they chose. This verse is fleshed out excellently in the book of Enoch, and it basically says that the sons of God were 200 watchers angels assigned to watch over the earth, and that they abandoned their post, made a vow together, and went down and took wives and produced children, which later became the Nephilim. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same mighty men which were of old, men of renown. So this is very interesting. Here, the term mighty men, if you didn't know this, King David and the 30 mighty men, right? These are giants. These are not men of average size. These guys reappear after the flood. God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. So this is what's making God mad, right? This is why he's repenting of making them, because the men were evil continually. This is what was always in their head. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy man, whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with God. Okay, right here. Let's look at these 3 things. 1, he was just. 2, perfect in his generations. And 3, walked with God. Okay, 1 and 3 show that he was a just man, he walked with God. So they're talking about his character. So it makes sense that the thing on the list, sandwiched between the other 2, is of the same nature, that it's talking about his character, that he was perfect in his generations. It does not say genetics. People assume that. Well, it looks the same. It has the word gene, the first 4 letters. So what? That doesn't mean anything, friends. Listen, generations means in the time that he lived. Gen X, Gen Y, the boomers, they're a generation of people. In the generation of Noah, however many years or decades God intended that to mean, he was perfect, all right? And what perfect really means in biblical terms is that he obeyed God. He was pure toward God. He followed God. He honored God, all right? Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, Japheth. The earth was also corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. This is so interesting because remember, the end time is coming up. Well, many of us are aware of this. It will be like the times of Noah, filled with violence. Many of us have seen dreams. God is warning us that people will become violent, especially those who take the thing that shall not be named in the shoulder. All right. Now, God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. Okay. Flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. Not his genetics. Again, not his genetics, not his interior components, not his biological instruction set, right? Genes, chromosomes, none of that. His way, his path, the way he walks on the earth, his set of decisions and life choices that create him a life, right? They all had corrupted it. And God said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. So he's saying he's going to destroy the earth, and he's saying it's because the earth is filled with violence. And he's telling Noah, I'm going to destroy them all. Notice that God does not say, unless you can go evangelize some of these bros and get them onto the ark that you're going to build for me. He doesn't say that, not here, not anywhere else. Let's keep going. Make you an ark of gopher wood. Rooms shall you make in the ark, and you shall pitch it within and without with pitch. And this is the fashion which you shall make of it. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, the breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. All right. So if they ever find it, it has to be in these ratios, right? A window shall you make to the ark, so just one. And in a cubit shalt thou finish it above, and the door of the ark shalt thou set in the side thereof, with lower, second, and third stories shalt thou make it. All right. Oh, so I think they don't mean a window. He means an opening, and that's the door. Well, I never noticed that before. This is why we go back and read things. I've read it 3 times recently, and boom, I'm just catching that. Which goes back to, you know why I thought the window? Because they always draw it with one window with Moses and a cartoon Moses and a bunch of animals peeking out with a giraffe's head always in there, right? And behold, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh. So again, God's repeating his intention to destroy all flesh. Wherein is the breath of life from under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. But with thee I will establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons, and thy wife, and thy sons' wives with thee. So God is exactly listing which men are going to come in. You, your wife, your kids, and their wives. And every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort, shalt thou bring into the ark, to keep them alive with thee. Oh, here's the other thing. How many of each type of animal get on the ark? This is the other thing that people bungle a lot. But the scriptures are very clear on how many go in. Of fowls after their kind, of cattle after their kind, of every creeping thing on the earth after his kind, 2 of every sort shall come unto thee to keep them alive. And take thou unto thee of all food that is eaten, and thou shalt gather to thee, and it shall be for food for thee and for them. So he took food to feed the animals on there. So we know that. Thus did Noah according to all God commanded him, so he did. Chapter 7. This is the last chapter. And the Lord said to Noah, come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. Okay, now it suddenly becomes even more clear. Why are you getting into the ark? Because I see that you are righteous. Again, he says, in this generation, in this time of people, this collection of people alive in this era, in this quadrant of time, this section of time, whatever it might be, 40, 50 years, you are righteous. You're getting on the ark. Of any beast you shall take to thee by 7s, the male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by 2, the male and his female. So he's saying 7 sets of the clean, that's 14 animals, and 2 sets of the unclean, that's 4, okay? Of fowls also of the air by 7s, the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth, to keep their seed, the seed of the birds. For yet 7 days, so when he's telling them this, it's 7 days before this disaster comes. I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth. Now look, we're getting close to the end. There's 7 days. Has God said, go evangelize, get people on the ark? No, he doesn't. People say, oh, he preached for 100 years. He preached for 120 years. No, he was building the ark for that duration. He wasn't warning people. It doesn't say that. God never tells him, bring other people on it. He lists exactly what's coming on. There's a list. All comers is not on there. And Noah did according unto all that the Lord commanded him. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. And Noah went in, and his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him into the ark, because of the waters of the flood. So they went in. Of clean beasts, and of beasts that are not clean, and of fowls, and of everything that creepeth upon the earth. There went in 2 and 2 unto Noah into the ark. They went in by 2s, the male and the female. Remember, we've already defined what that means. The male and the female, as God had commanded Noah. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, in the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were open. Okay, so water now is pouring out from under the earth and from the heavens. And the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. In the self same day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of his son with them, into the ark. Okay, that's the list God gave. That's who got on. They and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, every bird of every sort. And they went in unto Noah into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. So only living things God. He's not collecting types of rocks or dry twigs or anything. And they that went in male and female of all flesh, as God commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. So it's the Lord closes that door that he made, the 1 cubit wide door. God closes the door. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth. And the waters increased and bare up the ark, and it was lifted up above the earth. Okay, so that's the end of it. All right, so we've answered the questions. How many go on to the ark? We explained that. 7 pairs of clean, 2 pairs of unclean, and 7 pairs of all the birds. That's who gets on. All right, all the fish, they have no problem. They had more place to swim. All right, so no issue for them. Now, what's the other thing? Did Noah preach for 100 years? No, that's not listed anywhere. He's not commanded to do that. He doesn't do that of his own will. Because remember, he's perfect. He only does what God tells him. And God did not tell him, go and bring other people onto the ark. He gives him an exact list, and he follows it. So there's none of this preaching on. Those people didn't have options. Their options were to perish. Why? Because their thoughts were evil continually. So for us, we want to resist evil thoughts, and we're able to resist that because of the power of the kingdom of God, because of grace. All right, that gives us strength. Grace gives us strength to overcome that thing. So Noah was not perfect. We know how many got on there, and he did not preach for all those times. People, it's so great to go and read the scriptures, and this is how we answer questions when we see that there are things that seem to contradict each other. When people are saying things that seem to contradict the word, I just go back to the word and I say, well, I want to show this person exactly where that is. Or maybe sometimes I'm wrong, right? And I'm like, oh, wow, that really is in there. Well, I didn't really catch that before. Other times I see they're saying something and I agree with them and somebody else is disagreeing. I'll go look and I'll say like, wow, the disagreeer is correct. All right, this is the way to be, my friends. It's not just about being a Berean. It's about being a good student of the word. We must study the word to show ourselves approved. We need to understand the things that God is telling us. And the Bible is thick with warnings, with wisdom, with information. And the more we get into that, the better our life will become. Friends, this is the man from Modesto reminding you as always to pray and study the scriptures or be defeated.